You need to stop what you're doing right now, because what I'm about to tell you could literally change the way you look at every single dime in your pocket. I'm not joking. There are Mercury dimes out there, old, worn, dirty-looking little coins that people are spending every single day without even blinking. And some of them are worth serious money. I'm talking hidden wealth. I'm talking silent fortune found in plain sight. Do not spend these coins. Check your pocket now. Rare US coins alert. These old coins is a treasure, and secret collectors want them bad. And today, we're counting down the top 3 most valuable ultra-rare Mercury dimes worth huge money. Each one gets rarer. Each one gets more shocking. And the last one, nobody talks about it, but collectors are fighting for it. Stay with me till the end, because these coins change everything. First, coin number 1. Now let's talk about a dime that most people would ignore, and that mistake could cost them a life-changing opportunity. Coin number 1 is the 1927 with D Mercury dime. Yeah, a tiny little silver dime from 1927 minted in Denver. Looks ordinary, looks worn, brown shade, very fine condition. Nothing flashy, nothing screaming value. And that's exactly why people are losing it every day. This is not fiction. In 1927, America was in a strange place. The roaring 20s were roaring, but cracks were forming under the surface. Economic pressure was building. Banks were expanding fast. Industry was booming. Money was moving quickly. And the US Mint, they were pushing production hard. But Denver didn't strike many dimes that year. Compared to other years in the Mercury dime series, the 1927 with D had a much lower mintage. And that right there, that's where the danger begins. Because when fewer coins are made, fewer coins survive. Most of these dimes entered circulation immediately. They were used, spent, dropped into jukeboxes, slid across counters, thrown into pockets. No one saved them. No one thought they were special. And over the decades, they disappeared, melted for silver, lost, damaged, cleaned, destroyed. And now, finding a 1927 with D in very fine condition with original surfaces is like finding hidden treasure in a pile of pocket change. When you hold this coin, it doesn't feel dramatic. It's small, about 17.9 millimeters across, thin, around 1.35 millimeters thick, just 2.5 grams of 90% silver and 10% copper. But don't let that size fool you. This little dime carries quiet wealth. On the front, you see Lady Liberty wearing that winged cap, the design by Adolf Weinman that people call the Mercury dime, even though it's not Mercury at all. Those wings symbolize freedom of thought. But here's the thing. In very fine condition, you still see strong details in the hair. The cheek has definition. The lines in the wing cap aren't completely flat. That detail changes everything. Flip it over and you see the facets. Symbol of unity and strength wrapped with an olive branch for peace. In very fine condition, the bands across the facets still show separation. Not fully sharp, but visible. And collectors obsess over those bands. They lean in. They tilt the coin under light. They look for originality. They look for untouched surfaces. And here's where people make a massive mistake. They clean it. Never clean this coin. Never wipe it. Never polish it. The moment you do, you destroy the silent fortune hiding inside it. Original toning matters. That natural brown shade, that antique look, That's history. That's proof it hasn't been messed with. Once it's cleaned, collectors walk away. Value drops, sometimes brutally. The 1927 with D is special because high-grade survivors are rare. Denver Mint coins from that year simply didn't survive in large numbers. Most are heavily worn. So when one shows up in very fine condition, with honest circulation and original surfaces, collectors get very quiet. Then the bidding starts. And it's not loud excitement. It's intense, focused, calculated. 2 serious buyers. Maybe 3. They know what they're looking at. They know supply is shrinking. They know collectors are holding these, not selling. And when one appears at auction, the room tightens. Because today, a 1927 with D Mercury dime in very fine condition has reached market values around $140,000. Read that again in your mind. A dime. This is hidden wealth. This is serious money. This is a life-changing opportunity sitting in old collections, forgotten drawers, inherited jars of coins. And some people, they are accidentally spending it. Do not spend this coin. If you ever see a 1927 dime, flip it over immediately. Look for that tiny D mint mark on the reverse, near the bottom left of the facets. No mint mark, different story. But that small D, that's the trigger. That's the detail collectors are hunting. And condition is everything. Very fine means strong but circulated. Honest wear. No harsh scratches. No cleaning. Original surfaces. If you think you have one, do not guess. Professional grading is critical. Authentication protects you. It confirms originality. It locks in value. Without it, you're gambling with serious money. Patience is golden in this world. The biggest mistake? Rushing. Selling too fast. Cleaning to make it shiny. That destroys everything. These coins need to breathe in their original state. That's what serious collectors want. And here's the truth. Demand is rising. Supply is not. Every year, more collectors enter the market. Every year, fewer untouched examples remain. That gap, it creates pressure. And pressure creates explosive prices. Stay till the end of this series, because what comes next is even bigger. If you thought the 1927 with D was rare, the next Mercury dime we're about to reveal is even harder to find, even more dangerous to ignore, and the story behind it, it changes everything. Don't go anywhere. Next coin number 2. Now listen to me very carefully, because this next dime was born in the middle of war. Chaos, fear, global tension. And most people would never, ever guess that a tiny grey Mercury dime from 1943 could be hiding a silent fortune. This is the 1943 with D Mercury dime. And yes, people are still spending it like it's nothing. Do not spend this coin. 1943 was not just another year. America was deep in World War II. Factories were running day and night. Metal was being rationed. Nickel was pulled from 5-cent coins. Copper shortages were real. The country was under pressure. And the U.S. Mint was under stress like never before. At the Denver Mint, coins were being struck fast, hard, non-stop. The focus was speed, volume, survival. And in that storm of production, something rare happened. The 1943 with D Mercury dime had a high mintage overall, but here's the detail that changes everything. Most of them were heavily circulated immediately. They didn't sit in drawers. They didn't get saved. They were used to buy food, stamps, train tickets, war supplies. They lived hard lives. And finding one today in beautiful, fine condition, with original grey toning and strong details, that's where the hidden treasure begins. When you hold this coin, it feels small. Just 2.5 grams. About 17.9 millimeters wide. Roughly 1.35 millimeters thick. 90% silver, 10% copper. It has that soft silver weight in your hand. That cold, dense feel that modern coins just don't have. It's thin, quiet, unassuming. But don't let that fool you. Look at the front. Lady Liberty wearing the winged cap. In fine condition, you still see strong hair detail. The wings aren't flat. The cheek has shape. The jawline is clear. That grey shade, not bright, not shiny, that natural war-era toning is everything. That untouched surface is what collectors crave. Flip it over. The facet stands tall. The olive branch wraps around it. In fine condition, the vertical lines are still visible. The horizontal bands show separation. Not full split bands, but defined. And just below, on the reverse, that small D mint mark from Denver. That tiny D is the signal. Because while millions were made, very few survived in collectible condition with originality intact. So many were melted later for silver. So many were cleaned by people who didn't know better. And cleaning this coin, that's destruction. Never clean this coin. The moment you wipe it, polish it, dip it, you erase history. You erase value. You erase the quiet wealth hiding inside. Collectors want that original grey tone. That soft, antique look. That slightly uneven surface that proves it lived through 1943's originality is power in this market. And here's what most people don't understand. War-era coins carry emotion. They carry story. They carry survival. And collectors don't just buy metal, they buy history frozen in silver. The 1943 with D in fine condition is rare because of survival, not because of low mintage. That's what makes it dangerous to ignore. It hides in plain sight. It doesn't scream rarity. It whispers it. And when one shows up at auction with strong eye appeal, beautiful grey shade, and verified authenticity, the room gets serious. Bidders don't laugh. They don't hesitate. They lean forward, quiet nods, increment after increment, because they know supply is shrinking. They know serious collectors are holding these tightly. They know once it's locked into a top collection, it might not return to the market for decades. Today, the market has seen examples reach around $124,000 for a dime. This is not fiction. That's serious money. That's hidden wealth, sitting in old coin books, inherited envelopes, forgotten safety deposit boxes. Some of these are still sitting in jars, being mistaken for ordinary silver change. And that mistake costs people life-changing opportunity. Do not spend this coin. If you see a 1943 Mercury dime, flip it over instantly. Look for the D mint mark. Check the condition. Look at the details in Liberty's hair. Look at the bands on the reverse. Look at the surface. Is it original? Or has someone damaged it, trying to make it shiny? Professional grading is critical. Authentication protects you from fakes. It confirms condition. It locks in that silent fortune. Without grading, you're guessing. And guessing with big money coins is dangerous. Patience is golden. The biggest profits come to those who don't rush, who don't panic sell, who understand that demand is rising while truly collectible survivors are disappearing. And here's the truth that nobody talks about. As silver prices move, as interest in rare US coins grows, as new collectors enter the market, war-era coins like this become even more emotionally powerful. They represent endurance, strength, survival. Stay with me, because if you think a 1943 with D worth 6 figures is shocking, the next Mercury dime on this list is even rarer, even more explosive, and even more dangerous to overlook. And trust me, this next one changes everything. Next coin number 3. All right, this is it. This is the one people laugh at. This is the one people toss back into circulation without even thinking. And that mistake, it could cost them a silent fortune. We're talking about the 1931 Mercury dime. No mint mark, Philadelphia. Very good condition. Grey, worn, honest, nothing flashy. And that's exactly why it's so dangerous. Do not spend this coin. 1931 was not a normal year. America was deep inside the Great Depression. Banks were collapsing. Businesses were shutting down. Families were standing in bread lines. Money was tight. Fear was everywhere. The economy wasn't booming like the 1920 says. It was gasping for air. And when people are struggling, coins don't get saved. They get spent. Hard. The US. Mint in Philadelphia struck Mercury dimes that year under economic stress. Production numbers dropped compared to stronger years. Demand for new coins wasn't explosive because commerce itself was slowing down. But here's the twist. While millions were made, almost none were preserved carefully. People needed every dime. Literally. So the 1931 Mercury dime entered circulation fast. And it stayed there. It wore down. It passed through thousands of hands. It bought meals. It paid debts. It survived one of the hardest financial periods in American history. Now imagine holding that history in your hand. It's small, about 17.9 millimeters wide, thin at roughly 1.35 millimeters, just 2.5 grams, 90% silver, 10% copper. That familiar silver weight. That cold, dense feel modern coins just don't have. Even in very good condition, you can feel the age in it. Look at the front. Lady Liberty with the winged cap. In very good condition, the details are worn. The hair blends slightly. The cheek is softer. The rims may not be razor sharp, but the date 1931 must be clear. That date is everything. That's Depression-era silver staring back at you. Flip it over. The facets on the reverse may show heavy wear. The vertical lines are faded. The olive branch is softer, but the overall design is still there. And here's the key detail that changes everything. There is no mint mark. That means Philadelphia. No tiny D, no small s, just clean space near the bottom of the reverse. And that absence, that matters. Because collectors study survival rates, not just mintage numbers. They know how many were lost. They know how many were melted during silver booms. They know how many were cleaned and destroyed by people trying to improve them. Let me say this clearly. Never clean this coin. If you find one, and it has that natural grey tone, that soft antique look, that slightly uneven color from decades of circulation that is gold in the coin world. The moment you polish it, dip it, scrub it, you erase the originality. You erase the history. And collectors, they walk away. Original toning matters. Even in very good condition, originality is king. And here's what makes the 1931 so powerful. It represents survival. It survived the Depression. It survived melting waves. It survived decades of circulation. That's why finding one today in solid, problem-free condition is not common. Collectors know this. At auctions, when a strong 1931 with clean surfaces and no damage appears, the energy shifts. It's not loud. It's intense, focused, calculated bidding, because serious buyers understand that supply is shrinking. These coins are being absorbed into collections and locked away. They're not coming back out easily. And today, the market has seen examples reach around $117,000 for a worn-looking dime from 1931. This is hidden treasure. This is quiet wealth. This is serious money hiding in plain sight. Do not spend this coin. If you see a 1931 Mercury dime, check immediately for a mint mark. If there isn't one, your heart should beat a little faster. Then, check the condition. Is the date strong? Are the surfaces original? Has someone cleaned it? Are there deep scratches? Damage destroys value. Cleaning destroys value. Impatience destroys value. Professional grading is critical. Authentication confirms it's real. It locks in condition. It protects you if you ever decide to sell. Without grading, you are gambling with life-changing opportunity. Patience is golden in this game. Some collectors hold for years, decades. They understand that demand keeps rising. New collectors enter the market every year. But these old silver survivors, they are not increasing. Every year a few more disappear into permanent collections. That gap creates pressure, and pressure creates big money coins. This is not fiction. These old coins is a treasure. People are accidentally losing them every day. Dirty coins? Maybe. Hidden wealth? Absolutely. So before you ignore that worn grey dime in a drawer, before you toss it into a vending machine, before you dump it into a coin-counting machine, check these coins. Because rare coins equal big money. And sometimes you're holding a fortune without even knowing it. And if you think these 3 Mercury dimes were shocking, just wait. There are still coins out there even rarer, even more explosive, even more dangerous to ignore. Coins that collectors are fighting over in quiet auction rooms. Coins that could turn pocket change into serious money overnight. So don't go anywhere. Subscribe to EagleCoins. Stay alert. And remember, do not spend these coins. Because the next hidden treasure we reveal might already be sitting in your pocket right now. Do you like this personality?